All right, welcome back into another edition of Sports Spotlight. I'm Sports Director Alex Eisman. We have a pretty special show tonight. We had Claressa Shields and Danielle Perkins in the studio earlier, so we'll get to hear from both of them coming up in just a second. They're, of course, headlining a boxing card February 2nd at Dorp Financial Center. It's Claressa Shields' return to Flint for the first time after her movie The Fire Inside came out. It started up, or it released in theaters rather, on Christmas, and now she's bringing it back home to Flint to defend her two belts and try and add two more, by the way, to her collection as she takes on Perkins in her second fight at heavyweight. And we'll go to Claressa first. I got to speak to her a little earlier today about how she's preparing and whatnot and getting ready for another heavyweight opponent.
This is your second fight at heavyweight now. Your first one didn't last very long.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, what did you learn from competing at heavyweight for the first time that you can kind of carry over into this one?
Honestly, I learned to trust my power. I think first round against Vanessa, I seen the size difference that she had on me. Like, she was shorter, but she had more size on her. Like, she was thicker, her legs are bigger, her back was bigger. So I went in there very, very cautious the first round, and I didn't trust my power. And I really was trying to just keep her away from me, honestly. And then the second round, I guess she figured out I was trying to stay away from her, so she just tried to just run up on me and just touch me, and I was ducking and dodging, and when I let my hands go, I put her out. So I think I learned from that fight just to trust my power and trust that these girls aren't strong enough to just knock me out at heavyweight. Like, I can go in there and I can get touched a little bit and the fight won't be over. Like, I can withstand. That's what I learned from the first fight.
And also at your workout, you said you feel like Danielle is kind of overlooking you a little bit because she said you're not a true heavyweight. Why is that such a mistake?
Well, it's a mistake because, one, I'm from Flint, Michigan, so don't never look at somebody as the underdog who's from Flint. Don't ever do that. And then secondly, size don't win fights. I'm not a dog that bark. I'm a dog that bite. So I'm looking forward to, listen, just like I told Savannah Marshall, you better punch as hard as you say you can. You talking about you gonna put my lights out and you gonna beat me up and you gonna knock me out. You better try to stand on it, because I know for a fact I'm going to go in there and get it cracking February 2nd. I'm going to go out there and punch Danielle in her stomach, in her face. I mean, she's too big to be in there playing around with. So first round, I'm about to get up in her chest and show her, like, hey, we is in Flint, Michigan, and all we do is fight here, and we fight to win, and we fight to the death. And that's what I'm prepared to do to get this victory February 2nd.
And you said you never train for a specific opponent. You're always training against yourself. What does that look like on a daily basis?
Well, with Danielle being 6'2", I just imagine myself being 6'2" with all my power and all my skills and everything, and I kind of went off of that. So Danielle, I don't think she's as skilled as me. I don't think she's as fast, but she is dangerous. So I had to add the height in my training and add just her power, and that's what we've been working on. So I've been in the weight room. I got my little jacket on and stuff, but if I take this jacket off and you see my Ithaca bra and you see my muscles and stuff, you would agree that I'm pretty strong right now.
And she's not lying. We had a chance yesterday, actually, to watch them do an open workout down in Detroit at Downtown Boxing Gym. And yes, Danielle is a lot taller than Claressa, but the way Claressa was hitting the pads and hitting the bag, the sound was just like a bang every time. So loud, so much force behind those punches. So it'll be really interesting to see how she deals with someone like Danielle Perkins, who is so tall and who is very established as a heavyweight. She's been a heavyweight her whole career. Claressa has been gradually moving up weight classes her career. So this is still an entirely new challenge for her. She's only had 2 rounds of experience at heavyweight. Her last fight ended so early with the knockout, and yes, it was impressive, but she still has to be tested a little bit in this division, and she's fully confident in herself. She's the GWO for a reason. And at the same time, though, Danielle Perkins is ready to come in and play spoiler to Claressa's homecoming parade in her backyard. Danielle has fought in Michigan several times before, actually, including a belt-winning fight She's fought on the undercard, or below rather, some of Claressa's main events. So she has experience in kind of dealing with the showmanship, or whatever you want to call it, with Claressa Shields boxing card. And she is very confident in herself going in, and feels like she's going to be able to use her strength, her size, and her punching power to beat Claressa. She came into the studio today and said as much.
This is your second fight at heavyweight. Now, you feel like, if at all, you're kind of taking on a little bit of a villain role in this setting with Claressa fighting in her hometown, and you've taken on kind of the spoiler mindset, I guess?
Oh, no, people hate me. It's official now. I know for a fact. I told my coach I'm not going to spend much time on the internet because the internet's undefeated. You people are pretty brutal. But, it's what it is. It's part of the game. But officially, I am hated by a lot of people because they love Claressa so much.
Well, and you fought on a couple of cards with her in the past. Is there anything that you've kind of taken away from those experiences, that you'll have in mind going into when you make the walk?
Oh, when I make the walk, my number one focus is going to only be the fight. The atmosphere, I know, is not going to be geared or side with me. I'm pretty sure of that, but I'm okay with that. We knew that going in, that, we are walking into, I can't say the lion's lair, but the goat's lair. So we're prepared mentally, for sure. Mentally, physically, and emotionally prepared to take care of business on February 2nd.
Well, and you said you believe that you have the size, the strength, and the power advantage. How do you plan on implementing that when you're in the ring with her?
I feel like opportunities are going to present themselves, especially as we work through the rounds. The opportunities to really kind of showcase those three major attributes are going to come into play.
And what does this training camp look like for you? Has it been any different, preparing for someone like Claressa, or has it kind of been the same as always, or is there anything new that you've added to it?
Oh, no, we've definitely picked up the intensity. This is a tough training camp, and the thing is, you just can't overlook the things that Claressa brings to the table. She's a good fighter. She's also makes very good adjustments round after round. I mean, if you're a boxing fan and you watch her fight, you can see that the adjustments are made, and even in real time made. So you have to be prepared for anything that may come up, but also be prepared to establish yourself early.
And for you, what do you have to do right in order to get another belt-winning fight in Michigan?
I feel like a lot of things have to come into play, but for sure, a real dog fight's coming. Real dog fight's coming to Flint, Michigan, February 2nd.
It's apparent how much these two, there is a mutual respect towards each other, but at the same time, they are so fully confident in themselves and what they do. It's going to be a great card. It's going to be a great main event, great way to get a little gap in between the NFL playoffs in particular. They're calling it Super Bowl Sunday, which is a great name. It's the Sunday in between the NFC Championship, knock on wood, the Lions are there, and the Super Bowl. So get tickets, come out to Door Financial Center. It's going to be a great time. And I'm so excited. These two truly are some of the best in the world right now. And it's not very often you get to see something like that up close and personal. So highly recommend going. We'll be there for sure. And it's going to be a great time. But that's all we got for you this week. We'll catch you again next week with another episode of Sports Spotlight. Take it easy.